welcome to today's live market profile and order flow trade analysis by Tradeducation. We are at episode 230, and before I share today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. Okay. So with that, let me just quickly share my screen and let's look at what happened yesterday, how the auction developed, and are there any potential auction development paths for today. Okay. So first of all, let me just quickly jump to the daily chart. And from the daily chart, what we see is auction opened around the all-time highs, got rejected, and if you see, the overall volumes are also okay enough, like it's less compared to the previous three trading sessions, but the overall volume flow is less. Secondly, there was one gap which is filled. You might be seeing this gap, but this is the high and this is the low of that particular trading day, the Diwali mover. Okay, so actually there isn't any gap. And earlier, if you see this box, this was the initial gap which was filled, and this was a good trading opportunity to take a long trade. So this was the long trade which I took yesterday. So the gap was filled, and I think around I think after 10, not 10, after 11:15 or 11:30, is where I entered the trade and exited. When this around this high. Okay, so this is what I did. This is where I exited. Okay, and then the auction just again came down and auction again went higher. Okay, so currently the data point which we have is we have a sort of an excess, not a good excess, but there is a sort of an excess around the highs. These are the all-time highs, that is 12,907, and the low, there is a very small excess. Okay, so it's not a poor low, but there is some sort of a buying tail. This is some sort of a selling tail. Okay, so today what we need to observe is whether the auction continues higher or whether it trades lower. Okay, so this was the previous balance. Currently the value is high, and so the things which we'll be looking forward is this particular balance, the value area high, VPOC, and the value area low. Okay. So overall, no change in the overall sentiment. But the one data point is the auction closed higher yesterday. Okay, and also the high of yesterday is weaker because there are trapped buyers, and also there are some unfinished auctions which has not been cleared. Okay, so the reference which I'll be keeping for today are the high of yesterday, low of yesterday, and let me see if there is an HVN. So we have an HVN here and we have an HVN here. 12,862. Okay, so we have got an HVN here. So this is the HVN. Yeah. And are there any anomalies? So we have got one anomaly here. Apart from that, overall structure, if you see, it's pretty balanced. It's a balanced structure. The overall structure, there are some structural anomalies, but that can be cleared, or that can be refined further. But right now, what I'm expecting is, so this also will be the second reference level. So where the auction is opening, so this is a good sort of a good excess. The excess around the low is not so good. So if the auction opens below this, and if I see some sort of rejection here, then I'm expecting the auction to go down, clear the lows, and try to tag this HVN. So this is the first auction development path which I'm expecting. Second auction development path which I'm anticipating is the auction opens above the close, continues higher. Okay, this is the second auction development path because there are stops which are built there. Okay, so in the meantime, let me just bring in the pre-open market session So 14 points. So it's a flat opening. Okay, so around the close. So this is an important reference which we need to see, which we need to monitor, and based on that, we can anticipate, or we can take the trades. Just a second, it's giving me an error that YouTube is not receiving, but here it's bitrate is completely fine. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so these are some of the two auction development paths which I'm expecting today. So we need to see whether the buying. So currently the volumes they are not supporting the big up move. Okay, so the volumes are pretty less. So uh, this should also give you a sign that the currently the market which is going higher is being taken through the weak players. Okay, so the power of weak versus power of strong. So right now the weak money or trading money are the ones which are currently taking the auction higher to the all-time highs. Okay. Uh, yeah. So what we might see is we might see some push up. We might see even the option to tag higher. So the third option path which I'm seeing is we might also see this sort of a rejection. Okay, so these are the three auction development paths which I'm expecting to happen today. So the time is 9:14, and let's just wait for a couple of, I think, just a minute before the auction opens. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm just let me just have some water. So we are just 15 seconds to go before the auction opens. So let's see which way the market opens. Okay, so clear rejection is seen from that level. Auction just went higher, and right now it is trying to tag the lows. So good. If we see the order flow, massive selling came in. The high is unclear. The low is clear. I mean, the low is the low is finished auction. There are unfinished auction around the high. So we get clearly getting rejected from the yesterday's close. So first of all, let me delete all the drawings. So right now the current high is weaker. So expect it to be tagged. Let me just check. Yeah, so the HVN is also tagged. We are currently just trading around the HVN, and we also have one more HVN here. Okay, so the auction should go higher. Currently the high is weaker because it's just a few ticks away from the yesterday's close. Okay, so expect the auction to spend some time, and it should go higher, and I'm expecting it to continue higher and try to see if the yesterday's high is getting tagged or not. Overall delta is positive. Uh, and a good buying flow is coming in. So buyers are stepping in now. So the high should be tagged. Pretty massive buying happening. but overall volume is not so decent enough. Just 2,800 contracts traded. Sort of a double distribution seen on the order flow chart, the current 5-minute candle. So if the high gets tagged today, then odds are higher that it will also tag yesterday's high. Okay. So also there was a good webinar by Jim Dalton yesterday between how to trade and how to think to trade. It's a good session, and I think next week he's also conducting one more session, webinar session. So yeah, do go through that webinar. It's a good. I went through it today morning around 5. It was a good learning session. Good thought insights which he has shared. So the high is getting tagged. Now some sort of selling activity is coming in. So there are momentum buyers here. So expect one more push up to the higher side because current high is still weaker. Expect one more push up to the upside. $4,000 contracts traded. We are just a minute left, a minute and a half. Excuse. So next month, December, I think from 5th or 4th onwards, I'll be taking a break. So I think from 5th to 25th or maybe 5th to 20th. I have not decided the dates, but yeah. Also, I think there is some change in intraday margins, which is as per the SEBI guidelines, which is going to come in implement on 1st of December. So we might be seeing some liquidity crunch from 1st of December onwards. Yes. Okay. So the high is getting tagged. Again, the previous day high will also be getting tagged. So let's see whether that happens or not. But a good volume flow came in the first 5-minute candle. 5,400 contracts traded. Positive momentum. High is good. The low is also good. So let's see. Yeah. Right now, I'm not seeing any trade location. I'm just waiting for the market to just get chopped off. So one comment from Atharva, trade naker, bowl now. I don't know what, like, I'm talking. Yeah, I would request you, if you don't find this video helpful, then you can just close the video. You can watch other videos. So some sort of exhaustion happening. Don't be fooled. Don't get trapped here because there are more stops getting built. So whoever is trying to sell here, they are keeping their stops here. Yeah. So just observe the options patiently. Selling happening, selling activity coming in. So the next level of support will be the VWAP. So we need to see whether that tends to act as a support, whether we get a retest or whether we get a reversal. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. We're expecting one more push to the upside. So those who are trying to sell here, they will be keeping their stop losses around today's high and yesterday's high. Yeah. So those are the short-term traders who are putting in their orders, trading currently. So delta is positive, candle is negative, volume flow is decreasing. So expect the high to be tagged. Just chopping around one standard deviation. Delta is positive. Massive selling activity happening this level and this level. So good sellers are here, and so we need to see whether the auction stays here, continues lower, or there is a bounce back up. It is just chopping around this zone. So who is trying to sell at this level? Who is trying to sell here? You have to understand the psychology of the trader. So who is coming in here? Who is selling in here? Who is buying in here? So if the high gets tagged, we will be seeing a good tempo. Yeah. So let's see whether that happens or not. Yes, we are seeing a good tempo. High is tagged. So see the stop loss orders getting hit. Okay. Second 5-minute candle is closed. 3,900 contracts traded. One more push to the upside should be seen. So the unfinished auctions of yesterday has been cleared. And currently even the high is weaker. We have a poor high. So let's see whether there is continuation or not. So we have got trapped buyers, 140 contracts, no sellers, so no selling activity happening. Now sellers are stepping in, so they will be taking till VWAP, and we might expect some sort of reversal around VWAP. So let's see whether that happens or not. So let it tag the VWAP, let it test the VWAP. So we need to see whether there is continuation or not. So there is lack of continuation from buyers. Now sellers are stepping in, and these are the three zones, support zones from the order flow chart. where the auction is just halted. If you see the volume, okay, so VWAP is getting tagged. So now what we will be seeing is we'll be seeing some sort of buying orders here, because those who sold here, quick scalpers, they will be taking some of their positions off the VWAP. So we will be seeing some buying positions here, and we will be also seeing retail traders, selling exactly at VWAP coming in. So if you see, these are the momentum traders selling exactly at VWAP. And here, if you see, buying orders are there 17, 21, 17. Yeah. So momentum sellers stepping in, buyers, so sellers from here, they are just booking their positions here, just jumping out. So a comment from Nitish is, what are the odds to repair poor high low or weak high low? How many days? So Nitish, first thing is, don't think in those lines or in those terms of how many days it will take. Because if you think like that, you are thinking like a retail trader. Because what you will do is, oh, it will take 2 days, it will take 3 days. Let me, maybe short call, short puts, or, let me take the trades. Because you are looking for exactness. So don't think like that. In the terms of, what are the odds? Odds are high because markets are efficient. Markets will be repairing wherever there are weaker points, weaknesses are found. Market will be clearing those weaker options. Yeah. So if the markets are inefficient, then weakness will remain. So Nifty is Nifty, Bank Nifty, crude oil. So basically, the high liquid markets, they are all efficient markets. Yeah, all except the penny stocks or small cap, where it's operator driven. Where there is good volume flow, they are efficient markets, and so those weaknesses do get clear. Okay. So sellers are continuing. So we are seeing lack of continuation from buyers. Now sellers, we should see now continuation from sellers, and let's see whether they tagged the low, and whether we see a continuation to the downside. Second thing is, the low is also weaker because it's exactly a few ticks away from the half back line. Okay, so we need to observe. So currently the support will be the HVN. So we will be seeing some choppiness around the HVN and the open, and then we need to observe whether the low is getting tagged or not. A lot of massive people, what they are looking at is that the auction is closed below VWAP. So that's why momentum sellers, they are stepping in and they are trying to just short the market. Okay. So Ronak, yeah, so that is part of my training, how to spot unfinished auction, what is finished auction, what is unfinished auction. I think it's also available in the recorded training, so you can go through that training if you're interested. Or maybe you can check the past videos. One of the videos I might have shared, because I generally spill the beans. I don't keep any secrets. Whatever is covered in the training, all the elements are covered in the live session. Yeah. So do check if you don't want to spend money. Yeah, do check the couple of videos. Maybe you might find your answer. Okay, so we need to see whether the VWAP getting tested. So those who came in, they will be keeping the stop loss orders above VWAP, and we might see some sort of exhaustion here, and again we would see continuation to the lower side. So 5400 to 3900, 3100, yeah, 1900. So volume flow is decreasing. Both the high and low are weak. So this should give an indication that trading money or retail traders or weak players are the ones who are currently participating in the option development process. So let it chop, let it chop, let the auction get closed. So a doji candle is getting formed, indecisiveness is going on. Okay, so the weaker players are shelled out, and now we should see continuation to the lower side. Delta has shifted, delta has become negative. So 44 seconds left before the current candle closes. Indecisiveness is going on. Volume flow is okayish, not so great volume, not so huge volume. Again, it is trying to tag VWAP, seeing rejection. Okay. So we should see continuation from sellers. Delta is unwinding. Delta unwinding happening. Yeah, continuation from selling is seen. What is the range of current range? 51 points, not a big range. Yeah, Nitish, you are correct. Today's high is weaker because that is level of exactness. Yesterday's low, I don't know where. Why are you saying it is weak? I don't know why, but currently for me, only today's high is weaker. So why has auction stopped here is what I'm thinking. One of the reason can be there were stacked buying buyers coming in here. So let this momentum buyers and stacked buyers, clear the path because they are the ones who are stopping the auction. Delta is negative, from positive it has shifted to negative. So we should see the low to be tagged because the low is weaker. Today's low is weaker. I don't know about yesterday's low, but I'm seeing today's low is weaker. So we're just chopping around value area low, just chopping around here. So value area low, value area high. Yeah. So a lot of intraday references are getting built. Not so good sign. Retail traders are the ones trading, so that's why I'm not sharing any trade locations because only retail people or weak players are currently trading in the auction. Okay, so we should expect continuation to the lower side. Now we'll be expecting some choppiness around today's open. Okay. So 2,400 contracts traded, sellers are stepping in again. Let this particular low be getting it tagged. We are just chopping around the open, so this is the today's open. We're just chopping around that. So who buys again at the today's open? So if you see the auction just halted below today's open. If it was good selling, the auction should go lower and tag the low, but that's not happening. Uh, at visual references is where buyers are stepping in, and if you see this level is where the wicks. This is the wick which formed again at the same level is where buyers are stepping in, selling is getting absorbed. Okay, so a lot of choppy day to be seen today. Right now, only weak players or trading money are trading. So I'm not seeing any good trade location. But based on the data points, we opened within yesterday's value, yesterday's range. Markets are trading with low confidence. Current high is weaker, current low is weaker. Yeah. So better to just stay away. Let the auction either repair one of the side, and based on that, if you are able to spot the weaknesses, then you can trade against them. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to share today, and let's catch up again tomorrow and observe the market during the open. Yeah. So with that, ending this session, and